The mix-up is so mid. I really don't think it's that good. It's so mid, so I'm gonna just pre-place him and see. He's just so mid right now. Barely any mix. Pebble Throw is useless because it's so telegraphed. Brute Force is fine, but it leads into no combos because it knocks them back so much. And this move also. Just block it. Todo's so mid.
You're either perfect or...
Todo is an incredibly fun JJS character, and my personal main. That's mainly due to his fun combo game and unique R special. Let's go over how to play him. Todo has 100 health, which is the default for characters in this game. He's best described as a combo-heavy mix-up character, sparring 2 true M1 resets and the most versatile R special in the game, Boogie Woogie, which lets him swap places with an enemy or a thrown map prop. There's a bit of wind up before you teleport, and a blue circle forms around the target which will be able to block unless they're in close proximity. And if used on a ragdolled enemy or a thrown map prop, the wind up is non-existent. It requires and takes 6% of your ult bar, and has a cooldown of 10 seconds. But by pressing M1 right after swapping, you can perform a perfect clap, which reduces the cooldown to only 2 seconds. And by pressing M1 before you swap, you can do a feint clap, which doesn't take any meter, or put Boogie Woogie on cooldown, and can be used for some serious mind games. When you swap using Boogie Woogie, your enemy will look in the direction that you did before swapping, so turning around right before using it could be a great way to mess up your opponents. However, due to the wind up, you should use it carefully, as you're quite vulnerable while clapping. Todo's first move is called Swift Kicks, which is a 2-part move. It starts off with a blockable kick that goes into a running bear hug, dealing a total of 17 damage. 7 for the first kick, 3 for the grab, and another 7 for the throw. This move is on a 17-second cooldown. The grab part of this move bypasses block, and both parts of the move can hit ragdolled opponents. This is a great combo extender, and combos into 2 of his other moves. If an opponent blocks the kick part, they'll easily be able to punish you, so using it at further away or in neutral to only land the grab part is perfectly viable. And with the substantial distance that it covers, you're easily able to catch up to opponents without their front dash or circle around counters. Now, I'd like to mention that his R special, Boogie Woogie, can be triggered at any part during any of his moves to cancel them. This does put the move on cooldown, but allows for some pretty cool tech with some of the moves. For example, swapping mid-grab could lead to an M1 reset if the opponent doesn't expect it, and by far the most important use case for this is that you can use Boogie Woogie during the kick part of the move to get a true M1 reset. By landing the back part of the kick hitbox into the side of the opponent to push them into you, then cancel before the grab and using the M1 again. Todo's second move is Brute Force, which is a pretty basic strong punch knocking back the opponent and dealing a total of 17.5 damage if hit directly. However, it only deals 6 damage if only the wind hitbox lands. This move is on a 20-second cooldown and hits ragdolled enemies, and also bypasses block, making it a great combo ender. Although possible to cancel with Boogie Woogie, I haven't found much use for this. However, it is possible to combo extend by using your Boogie Woogie right after launching the enemy, which is actually viable, due to how the move inflicts true ragdoll. Todo's third and by far most important move is Pebble Throw. It's a pretty basic projectile with a bit of wind up and only deals 4 damage. It's on a 15-second cooldown as well. It does hit ragdolled opponents, but can't really combo into anything. However, this move has two incredible variants, which is what makes it the centerpiece to any Todo's game plan. By pressing R while the pebble is in the air, you swap places with the pebble, traveling forwards a short distance. This does put your Boogie Woogie on the full 10-second cooldown with no way to perfect clap it, but it doesn't require Boogie Woogie to be off cooldown to use. This variant can be used to bypass the block of enemies due to how fast and erratically you move, and due to the free action you have during the dash, you can use other moves, which mostly function the same. Except for Brute Force, which now becomes a spinning kick called Power of Brotherhood, dealing the same 17.5 damage that Brute Force does. You can, however, perform a Black Flash variant of this kick, by pressing Brute Force again right before it connects, dealing a total of 30 damage. However, both moves will only deal 6 damage if you don't hit the enemy directly. This variant is pretty powerful in neutral, as you can quickly deliver a guard break to someone's face, and the Black Flash variant can be comboed into after a regular uppercut for a ton of damage. However, this variant of Pebble Throw is significantly weaker than the other variant. By pressing R up to 1.5 seconds after the pebble has collided with an enemy, you do a short, blockable, heavily punishable combo on the enemy, dealing a total of 11.25 damage. This does leave the enemy standing up and resets your M1s. This move also puts your Boogie Woogie on cooldown, but doesn't require it to be off cooldown to use. Due to the Pebble Throw hitting ragdolled opponents, this means that you can ragdoll an enemy, then hit them with this Pebble Throw variant and continue a combo. The wind up and the lag between throwing the stone and you being able to swap with it means that at closer ranges you're not able to actually combo the Pebble Throw into the combo variant. However, due to how travel time and end lag overlaps, if the enemy is a certain distance away, you'll no longer be an end lag from the Pebble Throw by the time that the pebble hits the opponent, allowing you to combo the pebble hit and the combo afterwards into each other. This distance is approximately how far your opponent gets sent by your 4th M1. And now for Todo's 4th and final move, Elbow Drop. This is a close range unblockable uppercut that follows into, well, an elbow drop. This move doesn't hit ragdoll and is on a 22-second cooldown while dealing 10 damage, 5 for the uppercut and 5 for the follow-up slam. It combos into both Brute Force and Swift Kicks normally, although this is slightly inconsistent on higher ping. But due to how you're able to cancel moves with Boogie Woogie, you can cancel the elbow drop directly after the uppercut. This is immensely powerful due to the fact that the uppercut provides the enemy with true ragdoll, which means they can't evasive dash out of it. And while you teleport, you can side dash to gain some distance, which allows you to use the Pebble Throw combo variant. Although the move can't hit ragdolled opponents, you might be able to hit an enemy that you've uppercutted, if you time your move correctly. This isn't recommended though, due to how ping affects when you're supposed to uppercut. Especially since the end lag of this move is massive, and is heavily punishable on miss. It's best used after an M1 to combo start, or to combo finish, but can be used after the Pebble Throw dash variant to bypass block. However, beware the small hitbox and massive end lag though. Although Todo has a ton of ways to mix up his opponents, he gains a lot of ground through his devastating combos. Here is a few that I've found to be really useful. This first combo is a beginner-friendly high damage combo. You start off with a front dash, then 3 M1s, followed by a down slam. Then you do Swift Kicks into the Pebble Throw combo variant. Then you do 3 M1s, into Elbow Drop, into Brute Force. For any combo utilizing the Pebble Throw combo variant, you should not follow through with the combo if the enemy gets stuck on debris and is therefore too close to you, since it wouldn't be true. I prefer to just Brute Force at that point. Another small note is that Pebble Throw really dislikes elevation change. I've found that Pebble Throw tends to go over ragdolled opponents if they get stuck in a crater. This next combo is completely true and doesn't require you to waste your opponent's evasive. You start off with a front dash, then 3 M1s into elbow drop. You immediately cancel it with Boogie Woogie and then side dash away to gain some distance. Then you do Pebble Throw combo variant, 3 M1s, and then finish off with Swift Kick. There isn't really much to say about this combo. You sacrifice a small bit of damage but gain a lot more consistency due to how the combo is entirely true. However, this combo isn't true if you don't gain enough distance from your opponent after the elbow drop Boogie Woogie, due to how Pebble Throw combo variant works. This combo squeezes the maximum amount of damage out of your enemy as possible. However, it's slightly more difficult due to requiring the M1 reset to pull off. You start off with a front dash, followed by 3 M1s into a swift kick. Then boogie woogie right after the kick part, into 4 M1s into pebble throw combo variant. Then another 3 M1s into elbow drop into brute force. This combo deals an insane amount of damage. If your opponent stupidly wastes their evasive, this combo is the most rewarding thing you can land. Todo's Awakening False Memories is really disappointing. He regains 20 HP, which is the second lowest for any character in this game, and while the Awakening lasts for the default 60 seconds and makes the use of his boogie woogie not require any ult meter, my main gripe with it lies in the moveset. Todo's first Awakening move is Idol's Debut. It's a short-ranged, unblockable attack that has the player launch the enemy into the air, and then kick them into the ground, dealing a total of 30 damage. The move doesn't hit ragdoll and is on a 17-second cooldown. Todo's second Awakening move is Climax Jumping. The user lunges in a straight line after a short wind-up, and if an enemy is hit during this lunge, a short cutscene plays where the user beats up the enemy and then launches them away. This move doesn't hit ragdoll but bypasses block, and deals a massive 42 damage. The move is on a 22-second cooldown and provides the user with invincibility for majority of the startup and dash. Todo's third Awakening move is Dreams. It's a 3-hit combo dealing a total of 21 damage. It comes out quickly and has a short 10-second cooldown, along with fast wind-up, a big hitbox and practically zero end lag. The last hit also bypasses block. The move does hit ragdolled enemies, but due to how thin the hitbox is, you're not gonna hit a ragdolled enemy unless they're on a higher elevation than you. It has some neat tech where you can miss the third hit on purpose to reset your M1s. And last but not least, Todo's fourth Awakening move, Brothers. It has Todo hold up his hand where after a brief second he claps it to send in Yuji, pull dash forward and hit an insanely strong 70 damage Black Flash. This move is on a massive 45-second cooldown and is heavily punishable on miss. However, if Todo is hit by a melee move during the wind-up, the enemy will clap Todo's hand, stunning them and letting Yuji land the Black Flash instantly, dealing 80 damage. Now, let's quickly go over a few combos for Todo's ult. This first combo isn't really a combo, more than it is just a confirm into Brothers. You start off by doing 3 M1s into uppercut, and then Brothers immediately after. There isn't really much to say about this combo. If you bait out your opponent's evasive, you just get to deal a ton of damage. This second combo is pretty cool. It utilizes the Dreams tech that I mentioned earlier to reset M1s and doesn't require the move Brothers to deal a ton of damage. Start off by doing 3 M1s into Dreams, missing the third hit to reset your M1s. Then do 3 M1s into Idol's Debut into Climax Jumping as soon as you can. Although Idol's Debut into Climax Jumping isn't true, it's gonna land most of the time due to the fact that they can't really dash out of the way in time. At first glance, Todo's Awakening doesn't really seem that bad. I mean, all of his moves are pretty strong, but when you look at it in the context of every other Awakening, you start to see some flaws. The biggest of which is the fact that he doesn't really have a way to close the distance. You might argue that Climax Jumping and Dreams help him close the distance, but that isn't really true. Dreams doesn't have that much range, neither does Climax jumping, while also having significant startup and end lag. You might be able to use Boogie Woogie to get people away from walls so they can't wall run away, but people can really just block that on reaction. Unlike most other awakenings, you don't really have an effective way to close the distance, which is one of the main reasons that Todo's awakening is kinda mediocre. Todo's awakening really shines against other awakenings. I mean, that's where you lose your biggest weakness, because no one's gonna run away during their own awakening. I hope this video taught you something new about Todo, or at least helped you realize that Todo's more than just a brain-dead 80 damage combo machine. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like or subscribe, or if I've missed anything about Todo, you can leave a comment and tell me, I'd love to know.